2022 has come to a close, and whenever a new year rolls around, I always think to myself, you always overestimate how much you can get done in a day, but underestimate how much you can get done in a year. If you look back at things day to day, it can be difficult to see improvement. It's important to remember not to give up, even when times get hard. When working with horses, growth isn't always linear. There are some days that you take steps back, especially in the winter when times are more difficult. Horses have taught me so much about life. There are going to be highs, there are going to be lows, and there are going to be challenges that you'll have to face. But you only need to make a little progress each day to make a huge improvement. At the beginning of this year, Joey and I had a bit of a confidence blip. It was so out of character for him, as jumping is his favourite thing and he never usually stops. So we started having lessons with Felicity Collins where we took everything back to basics, working small but technical and forming a solid foundation for our partnership. We really started to improve. Looking back at these fences now, they seem absolutely tiny, but for us at the time, they were a huge milestone. Casper and I also went to a few arena hire sessions for fun, and he always reminds me how much I love this sport. Someone else who's helped me so much this year with my riding is Dee from the Dynamic Performance Hub. Ever since I've met Dee, I've regularly been doing exercises to help me become a stronger and better rider. Now I've been working on using the correct muscles while I ride, my asymmetries have improved and also has my back pain. 2022 is also the year where I filmed a lot of Challenge Esme videos. Okay. When doing horseball, I really enjoyed the team aspect of working together as well as the speed and the adrenaline. I also tried vaulting for the very first time, and I've got to say I have a lot of respect for these athletes. You have to be so strong, balanced, and oh my goodness, when you're on top of a 17 three-hand horse, it is a little bit terrifying, especially in canter. Apart from horses being common between these two sports, I've got to say the people I've met have just been so lovely.
Yeah.
That will cause big problems.
The warnings are danger to life.
At the beginning of the year, we also faced the horrible Storm Eunice, so it was time to batten down the hatches, and I was so grateful that all of my animals stayed safe. As winter started to fall away and early spring began, it was then time for me to leave my horses, leave home, and go on one of the biggest adventures of my life. I spent a month in South Africa and Botswana on a horseback safari, and I've got to say it was just absolutely incredible. The wildlife that we managed to see in this unspoilt wilderness was breathtaking. From baby elephants to top predators, these will be memories I'll keep with me for the rest of my life. But the travelling didn't stop there, as I was very kindly flown over to the Miami leg of the Longines Global Champions Tour, where they do top level show jumping right on the beach. Not only was it amazing to interview some of these top athletes, but I've got to say it was one of the most breathtaking show venues I've been to. In spring, I was back in England with the horses, as there really is no place like home. After my travels, I was a little rusty, however we quickly caught back up to speed after lots of training sessions, and my confidence really grew. Around this time, Joey felt like he also really matured. He was a lot stronger, more muscly, and it kind of felt like he went from a gangly youngster to a powerful sport horse. During the spring, we really enjoyed doing some dressage to get some competition experience under our belts, and we took home a rosette every show. I finally decided to make a video speaking up about my confidence, and I didn't realise how many people this would help. However, I think some of my favourite videos I've made this year were my How to Get Into Riding series, especially aimed at those of you who have found it difficult to access equestrianism. If that's for financial reasons, geographical, or you just feel like you don't fit in, there are so many barriers that we need to break down for the future generation of equestrians. So I visited 3 different charity-run riding schools across the UK, the Ebony Horse Club in Brixton, Summerfield Stables in Birmingham, and Team Toucham in Kent that I'm now a patron for. The work these charities do is incredible, and I wish there were more places like this around the world. Something else I really enjoyed this year was working with the Knights of Middle England for my Challenge Esme series. So we started off by doing Liberty, which was so fun, especially working with these stunt horses. It was really fascinating learning about horses' body language, as well as getting to do some pretty awesome professional only tricks that these stunt horses do. Another challenge that I did with them was side saddle, and I've got to say this was probably one of the most difficult equestrian disciplines I've tried, because even though if you know how to ride you have to use totally different muscles, and I felt like a complete beginner again. I even got dressed up in a very snazzy outfit and did a dressage test where I really managed to get the hang of it in the end. That summer, Equito Horse Boxes made me my very own dream horse box, and I was honestly in shock. I am still so grateful. It has so much more extra space in the back, which is great for putting all of the camera gear, and Joey and I went out so much with it, and our show jumping also really started to improve around this time too. We even spent 24 hours camping at Hicksted, and Joey had his first ever sleepover, and I had a lot of fun sleeping and camping in the back of the horse box as well. We even had a little explore and a hack around the showground first thing in the morning, and of course we had to take a splash through the water at the end. However, it wasn't long until I was back at Hicksted actually filming for the BBC to promote their new series of Mystic. That summer I had an incredible time being invited to so many top international shows and filming and presenting for them, including Aachen, where I got to see the Rolex Grand Slam, the World Championships in Denmark, filming for the FEI, covering dressage, para-dressage, vaulting and show jumping. And the atmosphere there was absolutely incredible. Of course, we can't forget about the London leg of the Longines Global Champions Tour, which is set at the beautiful Royal Chelsea Hospital. When I wasn't working away at horse shows this summer, I had so much fun playing around with the ponies. If that was filming funny videos with my younger brother Max, hacking out, working with Joey, and of course having 3 greys and a cremello, there was a lot of cleaning. As the year went on, Joey and I continued to progress together, although there was one little mishap where he made a hole in his bedroom wall. He was actually such a good boy for our first ever time doing bareback together, and even went over a jump. And when we did actually have a saddle on, Joey gave me this incredible feeling as if I was really flying. And not only were the fences getting bigger, but so was my saddle pad collection and my helmet collection, as it's still a pinch me moment that I released my 3rd and 4th helmet with Charles Owen and my very own collection with Lemure. I'm still so grateful for all the love and support on both of the collections. I'm so grateful to be in the position that YouTube is my full-time job, and I'll forever be grateful for every single one of you that watch my videos, as this year I made one of my dreams come true. Just down the road from where the horses are, I bought my very first house, a 100-year-old cottage. To be able to own the home that you live in is such a privilege, and I'm still just ever so grateful. Although not everything has gone to plan, with it being infested with carpet moth, the roof's leaking, the bathroom needs redoing, and it's currently being held up by scaffolding as the structural beams aren't quite how they should be. I'm excited for you to continue going on this journey with me to make this house a home. 2022 was the year of the World Cup, so I decided to try and teach my horses to play football, although it wasn't really a success. But what was Joey and I's first time cross-country schooling since I lost my confidence, and he was incredible. Another series I started on the channel this year was my day in the life of the horses. So for Casper, we took him up to the hills and had a big gallop, and he honestly had a smile on his face the whole time. For Mickey, he had a big pamper session and a clip and felt a lot more comfortable after that. For Duke, we did some in-hand work, which he loved, including some bending poles and some trotting poles as well, but unfortunately I never had the chance to film a day in the life of Joey. After a freak accident in the field, Joey had to spend 9 days in hospital. After lots of sleepless nights, not knowing if he was going to pull through, Joey's now finally home and is slowly recovering. I'm not sure what 2023 will bring, but as you can see, a lot can happen in only a year. It's also important to remember when times get tough to not give up. I'm so grateful for all of you for following our journey, and hopefully you continue into 2023. Wishing you all a happy new year and lots of love, Esme.